Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Prof. CK, and this is All the Mod 7 to the Sky. Let's get started. So since last time, not done a whole bunch, just a little bit. There was a pack update. I looked at the patch notes. They changed a few of the generator recipes, not these generators, but some of the future generators we'll be getting to. And not a whole lot else. One thing, I did make the Mighty Smelting Book and added that to our encyclopedia. So that's the Tier 3 materials. I don't remember if I showed that on camera or not. Real simple recipe, seared stone, over a book, done. What else? Replaced the axe with this mattock, which is kind of a combination axe and shovel, so that'll make it a little easier for doing dirt, gravel. It can also till soil, so that's handy. It's a hoe built in. So we can now chop wood, dig dirt, and till soil with a single tool. And that's about it. I did have having to place a few more torches, and the torch spam is starting to get on my nerves a little bit. So the first thing I want to do today is make a feral flare lantern. Now a feral flare lantern will spread invisible lights in a pretty big area. I think it's a 16 block radius, so 32 by 32. So let's grab that, and let's grab a couple of, you know what? We'll just, I'll be right back. All right, so feral flare lantern. That will let us get rid of these torches and clean up the platform a bit. I'm going to do that real quick. In 1 second, I'll be right back. Anyway, so for today, the next thing we want to do, where we left off last time, was the netherrack, the endstone, and the basalt. So how do we make these? To make netherrack, we have a couple options. We could do this right now with a barrel. Now, this is lava, so we would need to make a stone barrel. And we can put a redstone dust in the lava. That'll give us a netherrack. And it works exactly the same as we saw for the slime, for the clay, for the soul sand. But that is going to be kind of wasteful on redstone, and it'll take up a lot of space. Another option we have is using the igneous extruder. So if we come over here, if we make an igneous extruder, this is a block from Thermal Series, if we put lava and witch water next to the igneous extruder and a block of redstone underneath it, it will create netherrack. If we take a look at endstone, same idea, lava, witch water on a block of glowstone will create endstone. And the basalt, lava, blue ice on a block of soul soil, creates basalt. So let's get started with that. So we come in here. In order to make the igneous extruder, we need some Invar, any glass, a piston, a Constantin gear, and a redstone servo. So let's start making a couple of these things. In order to make Invar, that's an alloy, and we can make it in our smeltery with nickel and iron. And if we go take a look at the Constantin, same idea, we make it with nickel and copper. So let's grab some nickel, some copper, some iron, and get that melting. All right, so our melting is almost done. Our copper, our nickel, so it's 2 iron to 1 nickel for Invar, and 1 copper to 1 nickel for the Constantin. And that will alloy up. So now we've got 3 blocks of Invar, 2 blocks of Constantin. We'll pour that off. And again, be right back. Igneous extruder, we're going to need 3 of these. So let's make, if you shift click, what do I not have enough of? Oh, iron. So if you shift click, it'll put as many as you have parts for. So 1, 2, 3. We need pistons. We're going to need 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. Constant in gears. 1, 2, 3. And 3 igneous extruders. Now, if we put this down, let's make a little bit of space here. The basic use for this is making any kind of stone. So if we look at the usage, we'll see, depending on what we put next to it and under it, we'll get different things. We can make andesite, we can make blackstone, we can make basalt, darkstone, granite, etc. So if we were to grab a bucket of water, a bucket of lava, one here, cobblestone. But if we come up here, let's grab a couple extra buckets. We don't need a bucket of water. We will need witch water. So let's grab another bucket of lava. And a couple buckets. We'll grab this one. And we have one waiting over here. We do. Witch water. And we're going to need, for underneath, we said we need a block of redstone and a block of glowstone. So let's grab those. We have redstone already made. Glowstone's easy enough to make. And we're going to want some slabs to contain the lava and witch water. So if we come back here, we can use our new tool to make that faster. And we're going to put this here. So let's put down our redstone. We'll put down our glowstone. We'll put that down to contain the witch water. We'll put this down to contain the lava. We're going to move some of this here in a bit because we've got to deal with the basalt. Oh, that's already been placed, so it won't stack anymore. That's okay. All right, so igneous extruder, lava, lava. Let's get under here. Witch water, witch water. Endstone, netherrack. Now, these do need to be crushed in order to get sifted, but we already know how to do that. We've got our hammers here. So let's throw some power to the hammers. Let's throw our, we're going to fall into that. But let's throw our item pipes up here. You know, I probably should reverse these, because I know me and I know that I will fall in that lava. Will it burn up the barrels? This could be a bad idea. Let's find out. I don't think barrels catch fire, but we'll find out. That seems a little safer though. Stepping in the witch water, not a big deal. So where were we? Yes, so we've got netherrack, we've got endstone, extract, extract, and we are now hammering the netherrack. We are now hammering the endstone. It's all the same stuff we saw last time. And if we come around the front, we've got our sieve for the netherrack. We've got our sieve for the crushed endstone. A little bit of gold. And have you not processed one yet? Oh, because there's only a chance. So there is a chance from the endstone that you will get nothing. So we're on the emerald mesh. We have a 1% chance, a 0.5, and a 1.5. So it makes 3 checks. So between those, we've got about a 2% chance for an ender pearl, but potentially up to 3. 10% chance of a chorus flower, and 5 plus 10 plus 7.5% chance of platinum. We should get, there we go, ender pearl, platinum, done. So now we can go clear those off. So we need to move that slab there. We're going to put our other igneous extruder here. We're going to need one more bucket of lava. Should have grabbed 3, sorry about that. and blue ice. So I did spend a good amount of time just making and breaking ice. So we should have enough to make. Put that in inventory. You can Shift K that. And K it again. And we got blue ice. I made 2 and I don't think I can uncraft it. Well, that's okay. We'll find a use for it. Alright, so let's break that and put down 1 more lava. Let's break that and quickly drop down our blue ice. And we should be getting blackstone. Oh, what did we forget? We forgot... Oh, we need a soul soil underneath. Okay. I like blackstone. Let's go get some soul soil. In order to make soul soil, all we have to do is put coarse dirt inside of witch water. We know how to make coarse dirt. We know how to make witch water. Let's see. Do we wait on that? Can we grab one of these really quick? Yep. So if you're fast, you can get ahead of the pipes. So let's come up here, knock out that, pop down our soul soil. We can put our block back. If we take that basalt out of there, yep. Oh, because we broke the recipe, it killed the blackstone. That's okay. So let's get a pipe here. Let's disconnect that. And let's disconnect, nope, that. Anything weird end up in here? No, okay. And set this to extract. So now, if we take a look, we should be getting the basalt pumping in here. But nothing is processing because this is an emerald mesh. And you might recall, we can only process basalt with a netherite mesh. In order to get a netherite mesh, we need to get a netherite ingot. To get the netherite ingot, we need 4 netherite scrap. Netherite scrap is coming from our, oops, that's soul soil. Our netherrack, we have 1. So we're getting it, but it's slow. So we're going to have to give that a little bit of time, get a few more netherite scrap, and then we can start processing that basalt. And clean up my inventory really quick, and we'll be right back to talk about storage. Because these barrels, now I did clear the barrels out by hand a couple of times, and even so, they're just no. So, be right back. Okay, now in order to store this stuff, I want to use these oak drawer 2x2. This will hold 4 different items, up to 8 stacks of each, but we can expand that. So the default is 8 stacks. We can add these upgrades. In copper, we have a silly amount of copper and not a lot of use for it, and that multiplies it by 8. And as we continue adding, it continues multiplying each time, and it gets a little silly. So let's make, we'll make half of these. And we're going to need a whole bunch of planks. And that gives us 16 of these 2x2 drawers. So we'll start laying these out. Now I did already hook up the pipe to the barrels, but it's not connected to anything or going anywhere yet. So we're just going to start laying these right here and fall in the water. And shift right click, we can connect these on the bottom. Let's hang on to these other 2 for the moment. Now what's going to happen is we can connect this cable down to all of these, and it will automatically, in fact, let's go ahead and do that just so you can see. So if I connect that there and set this guy to extract, it's going to start pulling the items from that barrel and sticking it in the drawer. So we see it's pulling in coal. And now it's pulling down the tin. It's going to pull down the apatite, the flint, in order. But I don't want to really run pipes to everything. So we're going to take that out. We'll reconnect this guy so it's not extracting. We're going to do another thing. We're going to create a storage controller. So a storage controller is quartz blocks, a redstone comparator, which we should be able to make. So let's make some redstone torches. 1, 2, 3. Let's grab some stone. Let's make the comparator. Let's make a couple blocks of quartz. And the extra drawers, which we had left over. So now we've got this storage controller. And what we can do is if we put the controller, let's say we'll put it here. We can link that controller to all of these drawers and just connect once. In order to link it, we need to make a linking tool. Where are you? There you are. So let's grab some paper. Make a bunch of that. Oh, and we need one more drawer. Let's just do that. Linking tool. So now what we can do is if we shift right click the controller, and it doesn't have to be touching, we could actually put this controller anywhere within a pretty big distance. I want to say 32 blocks. I'd have to double check that. But we can link this controller to all of these drawers. And now, if we connect it up, we'll disconnect that guy, and we set this to extract, it can reach all of these. So all of those are going to get pulled down into these drawers. Kind of random haphazard, which I don't like. I'm going to end up reorganizing this, but I just wanted to show you how that works. Now, one other thing I want to do is, in particular, these pieces, we don't do anything with them by themselves. We've got to compact them. So what we're going to make is the flux compactor. So again, pretty simple recipe. Now that we've got the parts, we're going to need another comparator. So 3 more torches. We're going to need 3 pistons. 1, 2, 3. We're going to need a hopper, so we need a chest. You know, we're just going to make 4 at a time. This is a handy little shortcut recipe. Hopper and flux compactor. Now what this does, we give it a little bit of power, so let's come up here. We're going to put it someplace silly for the moment. But if we come up here, we can put our pieces in, and as it runs, using power, it'll turn the pieces into, what I forget? Oh, inventory. It will not run without an inventory below it. That's why these are staying barrels, by the way, because it won't recognize the pipe as an inventory, so it has to have an inventory below it. There we go. So it took out 4. And it's now getting our raw iron. So we're going to hook this up. It automatically pushes straight down. We're going to hook this up in line with the controller. And instead of getting pieces in here, we're going to get the ores in here. So let me move that around a little bit, redo the connection, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I've got the drawer set up, I've got the items staged. Now I did make one other thing, the configuration tool, which if you look at the top as I'm right clicking, there's this little padlock button icon that keeps anything from going in there if we haven't pre-staged a spot to hold it. I also made these compacting drawers. I want to show you these really quick. So certain things, redstone for example, we use in many different formats. So we use tiny piles. That's for that is for Super Circuit Maker. We need regular redstone, and we need redstone blocks. So by putting it in this compacting drawer, it's already in the format to quickly do whatever we need. So if I put that, so I've got, if we look at the top, or actually let's open it up. It's a little hard to see the white font on the gray background, but 574 redstone, 68 redstone blocks, and several thousand, 2.9 thousand tiny piles. So if I want to grab a redstone block, I just grab it. If I want to grab a stack of redstone dust, I just grab it. So same thing with the bone meal, goes to bone blocks. This is a neat one. Glowstone goes to glowstone, or glowstone dust goes to glowstone. Normally you'd have to break it, and if you don't have a lot of fortune, you end up losing glowstone in the process. So by having it there, we can quickly convert between dust and full blocks without having any kind of loss. And then the same thing with the quartz, the nether quartz. So by using the compacting drawer, we can go blocks of quartz to individual pieces of quartz without having to deal with breaking this down or smelting or anything, because you can't really easily turn the block back into the nether quartz without doing something funky. I want to show you one other thing I did back here. I've got a bit of a weird piping going on, and the reason for that, this is the controller on the bottom. This is that flux compactor again, right? Now the flux compactor will take whatever we give it, compact it down, and then output to the bottom. These pipes automatically go to the nearest inventory. So by having this extra bit of loop, it makes the storage controller the closest and the flux compactor the furthest. So anything that has a space in the drawer will go in the drawer. If it doesn't have a space in the drawer, will go into the compactor. And that's how we can easily segregate all of these ore pieces from things that don't compact or don't need to be compacted. So let's go ahead and turn that on and watch what happens. So we'll come here, give that a, whoops. Can I get up there with the wrench? Yes. So now these are all pulling out. And we see it's pulling the items out and sticking them in the drawers. Right? Maybe, maybe not. There's a problem. This niter, but this niter, it's full. If we take a look, it's 512 out of 512. So there's not room in there for any more niter. If we look over here, we've got this niter drawer, which will hold 2,000. But this is a 1x1. The 2x2 has 4 slots, so each slot holds a quarter of what a single drawer holds. So what we can do about that is we can make upgrades. So we're going to first take a look at this copper upgrade. The reason copper is, again, we get a ridiculous amount of copper, and there's honestly not that many other uses for it. So we grab a copper upgrade, and that multiplies the block storage by 8. So if we come over here, click it on there, and you can see the icon in the corner there. We can shift right click and see there's room for 4 of these, and that took us up from 512 to 4.1 thousand. So let's grab these guys back out of there. We can stick them up in here, and they'll get stored properly. So I'm going to make another handful of the copper upgrades. We'll put them on all of these, and I'll be right back. All right, so I got all the upgrades in, and the drawers are mostly emptying. Yep, all that's left is the pieces. Oh, yep, they came in, they went out real quick. This is still pulling down. We'll give that a little boost by hand. That's just metal pieces. So we can grab things by hand, just right-click it into the controller, and it will distribute it where it needs to go. So we're actually doing really good. We've got, 1,700 nether quartz. Not bad. All right, so the next thing we need to do is deal with these pieces. So I've got another handful of drawers. Let's go ahead and plunk those in place. And we got them locked. We'll get them linked. And what we're going to do is we're going to put raw ores to pre-stage all of those. So we can start placing all of this. And we have one extra drawer. We'll find a use for that later. But now we should see, if we clear this, so it has room to process, it's compacting these ores and sticking them down in here. So we can put all of this back up in one of these drawers. And if we take a look, we've got 57 iron. What's it compacting first? Lead. So we're at 49 lead, 50 lead. $51 lead. All right, so got all that moved down, and I did find that I had missed cobalt. So now we've got cobalt. And this is now fully automated. Now there is one problem left that you need to keep in mind. And especially whenever you're playing with modded and you have something that's doing an infinite unattended production, is you need to account for infinite unattended storage. So if we go off and do a bunch of other things and just completely forget about this system for a bunch of hours, it's going to back stuff, and it's going to break. So what we want to do is tell it, when there's no more space, do something so you don't break. And that is voiding. So we have the void upgrade. This is really simple. It's just obsidian with a drawer. We don't have obsidian. Let's get obsidian. Obsidian is lava with water in a barrel. So let's make a stone barrel real quick. Stone barrel. And we've already got lava. So we can just put that there, and that's going to fill up with lava. We need to get water on top of it. So let's grab stone brick slabs. No particular reason. I like them. Knock that one out. Grab a bucket of water. Whoops. Took out our lava. We need to put the water on top. So let's lean in. Now you can't put it on the slab because that would become waterlogged, but we can put it in that space in between. So now it's obsidian. All right, so same automation. Barrel, pipe, extract into a drawer, 8 obsidian. And now we have a void upgrade. So what this is going to do is the if the drawer is full and it tries to keep adding more stuff to it, it will just delete the extra stuff. So these can all go up to 4,000. We're not really there on any of these yet, but this way we don't have to worry about it. And if this hits 4,000, let's right click to be a little bigger. When this hits 4,000 sulfur, any extra sulfur will be deleted. Now another thing we can do, let me grab this really quick, is these stack, and these stack in a really interesting way. So it's 512 times 8, so we take that out, 512 times 8, so half a thousand becomes 4.1 thousand. The reason it's 512 is it's binary numbers, so 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024, 2048, etc. So if you deal with computer memory, you'll see that a lot. So that 4,000 times 8 again is 32,000. So it's not 8 and 8 is 16. It's times 8 and then times 8. So it's times 64. So 32,000. And this goes up, if we put all four in, goes up to 2.1 million. So we can hold a ridiculous amount of things if we decide we want to. So I think that's the end of the episode. We're definitely going to have to bump up our lava production if we want to keep up with our growing demand. We'll clean this mess up, and I will get everything organized. We'll call that an episode. Again, if you have comments, questions, thoughts, ideas, suggestions, please let me know down in the comments. If you liked this, click the button. If you didn't like this, click it anyway. Yeah. All right. Thanks for coming along, and we'll talk with you next time. Bye-bye.